Hello and welcome to Long's Toys. Today I have a little Throwback Thursday action for you. This is the Time Force Megazord. I recently picked this up at the Philly Wizard World Comic-Con that I went to a month ago. So I have the 5 Time Flyers here. Unfortunately, my red Time Flyer does not have the tail piece that later becomes part of the shield. And it's missing the kind of little cockpit piece here. And I also don't have the sword. But for $7, I couldn't pass it up. I mean, it's just so cheap that I can't say no. Maybe one day I'll find the accessories somewhere else. So I'm going to just kind of show you each of these real quick individually. This is the red Time Flyer. As you can see, it's got landing gear underneath here. Unfortunately, it doesn't look very impressive because there's a piece with longer wings that clips on here in the back. And there's a canopy section here normally that goes right in here, clips in there, and then can fold forward and fold closed. So I'm just going to put the landing gear away like so. Put him off to the side. Next we have the blue Time Flyer, which looks pretty nice. His cockpit does open, and as you can see, it is blue inside. Looks very nice. He's got these wings that just fold in like this. And as you can see, it becomes very streamlined. He's also got landing gear underneath. You just pop this in. I'm sorry. Pop this forward. And that closes in. This is actually fairly intricate. You're going to pop this away. This circle part fits in here. Then you're going to have to fold this back. And then you're going to pop that back in and close that up. So I think that's pretty cool. It's actually very nicely engineered. Put him off to the side. Next we have the green Time Flyer. He's got kind of a 4-wing look. This kind of reminds me of the Great Fox from Star Fox 64. The big ship that the R-wings would come out of, because it's got kind of the same wings here in the back. I think there was like a port up here where they would fly out of. But the cockpit opens and it is green inside, as you can see. Now, I think these did come with little rangers that you could put inside too. Obviously, I don't have them. So you just fold them up. Same thing with the landing gear. Flip that closed. Pull this up. Pop this out of the way. Put it back in there. Close it up. Now we have the pink and the yellow Time Flyers. Yellow, again, the cockpit opens and it is yellow inside. Pink and yellow are pretty identical. The pink cockpit is pink inside. They both have these pieces, or the landing gear and everything is built in, and this whole piece just comes right off. Same with this. And then pink and yellow are pretty much identical. You can kind of see that they're going to become fists. So once you take them out of the plastic pieces here, they're pretty much identical. But these are nice. They give some nice individual shape to those otherwise identical ships. And these actually can clip together. You see there's 2 clips there and 2 tabs. And they'll actually clip together like that. So now I'll move on to the combined spaceship mode. So the Time Flyers do have a combined ship mode. Basically what you're going to do is these 2 pieces here, the pink and the yellow here, are going to clip on the back. The fists are going to plug onto this. And you'll notice there's also a tab here and a connector there. And then that'll all snap together. So you can see, that's one big ship part now. Now the same with these. You're going to, this connector here, as you can see. And then this connector here. And then you're going to fold out this black connector on the side here, and that's going to plug in. Actually, no, I'm wrong. I'm sorry, that stays in. This connector here And it's going to be hard to show up because it's all black. Let me see if I can get some more light on this. Right here, there's a tab. And that's going to clip into this connector here. There we go. Alright, let me fix this real quick. There we go. And then the same thing is going to happen over here, where this tab and this connector. And there you have it. This is all 5 of the ships combined together. This really reminds me of the Delta Megazord from In Space. I think just because it's another big triangle. Now the other thing you can do is if you flip this over, there's these 2 blue connectors here. You can pull that out. And then you can bring this back in. And there's 2 kind of little clips here that can clip on here. Oops, sorry, let me move the camera up. There we go. And again, it's going to be hard to see, but there's 2 clips here that this can kind of clip between. And then these 2 pegs here on the pink are going to clip into this blue section here. Sorry, trying to find a good... These 2 blue clips there we go. And that just gives it some more wheels to roll around. Plus it's storage basically for this part on the bottom. So there you go. There is the combined ship mode. Okay, so I've disassembled it again into the 5 components, and I'll show you the first Megazord combination. There are 2, which I think is a really cool feature. This flips down, and then it'll flip around and snap up, peg into place. This will fold down, and this head will flip out. Close that up. This will flip like this to form a leg, and then this red piece in the back will flip out and rotate around. And I'll have to zoom out here and get a little bit taller. But you're going to go ahead and do the same thing with the other leg. And then you can clip this on and clip this on, and that becomes the 2 legs. And let me get a little bit higher. Alright, so the next thing you're going to do is flip out these 2 black tabs on the side, and then just connect the 2 arms. Then in the back, there are 2 little tabs that you will push to expose the head. And I'll show you that again from this side. Now the problem is, and this is probably not going to show up well. Bring some light in here. I think it's a cool head sculpt. Let me see if I can get it to focus. There you go. It's a very cool head sculpt, but the things on the side don't separate far enough away, I feel like. So you don't really get to see that much of it. That's as wide as I can make them. I wish they would pull out a little bit farther so I could see more of the head sculpt. But overall, I think this is a really cool mode. Now, if you had this piece from the 2 ships, there is another piece that usually comes with red that you can fit in between here to fill this gap and turn it into a shield. And then it has a little peg so it can fit in his arm. I mean, you could kind of rest it on his hand, but it's a shield with a big hole in the middle, so it doesn't really do much anyway. So Unfortunately, I don't really have shield capabilities because I don't have that extra piece. And I wish I had the sword too, because it looks like the hands of a clock, which I think is a really cool thing. But overall, I think it's a pretty cool Megazord. So I've gone ahead and disassembled it into the 5 components again. The last configuration was called the red Megazord, and this following one is called the blue Megazord. You're going to start with, this is the red component, or the red flyer. Last time you brought this down, but this time you'll keep it straight up. And all you'll do is pull this down to expose a head. And I'll give you a close-up here of the head. I think that's a really cool head sculpt. Kind of reminds me of like a GoBot or something, which I think looks really, really cool. Then you're going to extend these 2 black pieces down. They're arm connectors. You're going to take these 2, which were the arms, and you're going to extend them all the way out, and they're going to become feet this time. And you're going to want to make sure that you put the blue piece facing forward. Oops. Do the same with the other one here. And let me back this out, move this up. Then you're going to clip these on as the new legs. You're going to take these parts that were the legs last time, and you're going to have to open this up. It's a little tight, but if you lift this part up, you'll pull this down, rotate this 90 degrees, or I'm sorry, 180 degrees, and then flip it down, and then that's going to be his new hands. So I'm going to have to do the same with the other one. He's very tall, so it's going to be hard to get them all in shot, but he's got these gigantic arms now. I think they look cool. I think the other mode, while I like the coloring on this mode better, because I like blue better than red, I think the other mode is a little bit more stable, just because this mode ends up being very top-heavy, because it has the giant legs on as the arms instead of the legs, and the legs are very skinny. You can see some of the red on the back. But overall, I think it's very cool, and I think it's really awesome how one Megazord has 2 modes. I have to say that the Time Force Megazord is actually a very, very awesome Megazord. You get tons of playability. You have the individual time flyers, which are pretty cool. Then you have the combined ship mode, which is very cool. And then you get 2 different Megazord modes. So you really can't ask for a Megazord with more playability. There's lots of different options and configurations with this Megazord, which I think makes it really, really cool. There were some other Megazords in this line. There was a Q-Rex, which is kind of a giant dinosaur that turned into a robot. And there was also the, I think, Time Shadow, or Shadow Megazord, which was just kind of one giant flyer that could combine with this one in either mode. I believe I do have Time Shadow, so if you'd like to see a review of that as well, let me know down in the comments. But I absolutely love this Megazord, and for the price I paid for it at the show, I couldn't turn it down. I do wish it had the extra pieces like the fins here on the back, or the wings for the red one, and also the time sword and stuff like that, but like I said, for the price I paid, I couldn't turn it down. It was a great deal. So overall, definitely recommend this Megazord if you can get your hands on it for a good price. Can't recommend it enough. But please tell me what you think in the comments. Please like and share this video. Please make sure you're subscribed. I have links in the description for my Facebook and Twitter. Please make sure you're following me on there as well. I hope you've enjoyed this Throwback Thursday review of the Time Force Megazord, and thanks for watching.